Let's take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. As we sit right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are 3.5 point favorites in this one on the road against the New York Football Giants, 45.5 to 46. Your total. The Giants have parted ways with Jason Garrett as offensive coordinator. Sterling Shepard is back at practice for this Giants squad if you're looking for something to feel good about for them. That being said, Steven, outside of that, not a lot to love about the Giants in this one. I mean, I think that the Eagles probably, the offensive line is better than the Giants defensive line, and their defensive line is better than the Giants offensive line. And so typically if you win the trenches on both sides, going to be pretty tough for another team to hang with you. I sure wish this was a flat 3, but at 3.5, I think is at least tempting on the Eagles side of things.
I bet it. I bet Eagles -3.5. I feel really good about it too. I was wondering if we might get the +3, but I don't think we will. The Giants are just a mess right now, and the Eagles are red hot. I mean, Matt, we talked about this earlier in the year, how on paper this Eagles roster looked talented, but they had a new coaching staff that wasn't figuring it out. I think they figured it out, man. I think we are seeing the version of the Eagles that we had hoped we would see early in the season before they kind of went through that 4 or 5 week stretch where they didn't look very good. So the question to me is, last week was, could the Eagles keep it going, keep the momentum going with a ground game against a very solid Saints rushing defense? And they passed with flying colors. They obliterated New Orleans. In the last 4 weeks, this Philly offense is number 2 in EPA, number 6 in success rate. They're top 5 in those rushing EPA and success rate statistics. And most importantly, Jalen Hurts over this span, number 2 in drop back EPA. These guys got it cooking, man. And I think that -3.5 is a very strange number for me. I mean, this is an Eagles team that was -3.5 at Detroit when the team was lost and couldn't figure it out. And we're getting the same spread here against the Giants team that is lost and can't figure it out. So they're facing a Giants defense that is pitiful. They're 31st in success rate, 30th and dead last in rush EPA and success rate. I don't think they just have an advantage in the trenches no matter who has the ball, Matt. I think they have a huge advantage. I think it is a monstrous mismatch for the Giants in the trenches on both sides here. And somehow, some way, the Giants have fired Jason Garrett as offensive coordinator and found one of the handful of people on the planet that is not a fucking upgrade. Freddie Kitchens is the interim offensive coordinator now. I love the Eagles -3.5 this week.
So, Brad, we take a look. Eagles weeks 1 to 7, 23.4 carries per game, 116.7 rush yards per game. They were only running the ball 39% of the time. Weeks 8 to 11, when it looks like this offense has really hit its stride here, 43.5 carries per game, 217.5 rush yards per game, and they're running the ball 66.9% of the time. And people might say, oh yeah, well, it depends on opponent. Well, as we just mentioned, the Saints came in with a top 5 run defense in the NFL, and they ran it right up their ass in this game. And so I'm not incredibly worried about how their success is going to be against this Giants defensive line that's been absolutely putrid all year long as well. So again, I really wish it was Eagles -3. I don't think I'm going to get it. So I think I'm probably just going to have to play Eagles 3.5. But I think this is as shocking as this is as we enter week 12. I think this is a pretty decent mismatch.
Yeah, no, I agree with literally everything you both said. That New Orleans game, I like New Orleans at least because I thought they would stop the run because they were the very best rush defense in the NFL, and they just mauled them. Like you might have seen that clip on Twitter of Hurts going through. I think he hits 4th read on a play. He's just stood in the pocket, and the New Orleans defense is good, and they just shut them out entirely. And I remember thinking at that point, they're playing the Giants next week. Like they're not going to get near Hurts. Obviously the price is a bit annoying with that hook, but as Stephen said, this is the price to win off against the Lions. There's not a huge difference between New York and the Lions. I like it as well. I like the Eagles.